With so much misleading information out there about the greater Vancouver housing market, this month we are going to do something a little different for the monthly market update. This month we're going to take a video put out by the Greater Vancouver Real Estate Board, which is their monthly insights into what's happening with the sales numbers, the listing numbers, the prices, and we're going to actually put that into context because I find so often there is really big variations when reporting numbers. Are the numbers being reported month over month numbers, year over year numbers? And what about the bigger picture, the macroeconomic picture? What about what's happening with our neighbors down in the US? So we're going to get into that in this month's Greater Vancouver housing market update. The data that we're looking at is from February, but we're already 2 weeks into March. So how relevant is that data today? That's another question we're going to look at. So with that, I'm going to throw it to the Real Estate Board's video and we're going to go through it together.
There's listed about 3,500 homes on the MLS, which is a 37% decrease compared to this time last year. While new listing activity is low, the below average sales activity is allowing inventory to accumulate.
The problem is the inventory that's accumulating is not enticing inventory. A lot of that stuff is overpriced and not presented well and maybe has some issues with it. So the good stuff still goes very quickly, in like a week or less, and often in multiple offers if it's presented properly and priced properly.
February ended with about 7,900 homes listed for sale on the MLS across the region. Is this inventory enough to meet homebuyer demand? One tool we can use to help answer this question is the sales to active listings ratio. This ratio measures the homes available for sale against the number of homes sold throughout the month. In typical market conditions, when this ratio dips below 12% for a sustained period, it indicates that supply is outpacing demand and prices are more likely to decline. When it surpasses 20%, demand is outpacing supply and prices are more likely to increase. February ended with this ratio at 23% for all homes. By property type, the ratio is 17% for detached homes, 30% for townhomes, and 26% for condos.
So what does that show us? It's showing us that the detached homes are in a balanced market, townhomes and condos are in a seller's market. We'll often use months of inventory as another way to indicate this same information, meaning like there is 4 months of inventory, that which would still be a seller's market in our region.
This brings the MLS HPI benchmark price for all housing types in Metro Vancouver to $1,123,000. This is about 9% below this time last year.
Keep in mind, this time last year, we were just about at the peak of the market. So, of course, with 4 or 5 interest rate hikes since, prices are down. Affordability is a lot different now than it was then.
What's next for the market? While we expect home price trends to show year-over-year declines for a few more months, current data and market activity suggest pricing is firming up. Some leading indicators suggest we may see modest price increases this spring, particularly if sales activity increases and mortgage rates hold steady.
So that's about it for this video. Before they wrap it up, I just want to touch on a few things here. The data is changing week over week. I can tell you in the last 3 or 4 weeks, I've had different opinions to share with people each week on what's happening with interest rates and what we can expect later this year. The banks, they are not interested in flooding the market with listings. So people are having their amortization periods extended out rather than having people feel that pain of the increased payment as much on their variable rates. Like usually people get a 25, 30-year amortization on their mortgage. But right now, the proportion of mortgages with amortization periods that are over 30 years is at BMO 32.4%. So I ran out of time there on my screen share. What I was saying is the banks are not rushing to push everybody to sell their homes. They would rather have you extend your mortgage and amortization amortized over a longer period. You may be just paying interest only for now. Extend it and pretend like everything is okay. So That's why we're not seeing a lot of listings hit the market. We're also in a state where about half the homeowners in Vancouver of owner-occupied properties are mortgage free. So those people aren't feeling the pinch of higher interest rates because they don't have a mortgage. They will feel it in other areas, of course, like all the inflation. But for these reasons, I really think you got to talk to your local realtor about what's happening in this particular moment, because the news media is always a few weeks behind, and I don't understand why people would go to a journalist for real estate advice. You wouldn't go to a journalist for advice from your doctor either. It's not their field of expertise. They are looking for clicks and headlines, and you need to have actionable intelligence for your situation that is going to be unique and in your unique micro market. So get at me with your questions about what's happening in your market. What are you trying to do? Are you trying to upsize? Are you trying to get into the market as a first-time home buyer? Are you trying to sell and move to a different location? The advice I give you could vary depending on what you're trying to do. So reach me, Josh Kepke, at Real Broker, 604-313-9805. You can also send me an email at sold@joshkepke.ca or hello@vancouverrealestatetoday.ca. And that's where you're going to also be able to search for listings and find out what your home is worth at vancouverrealestatetoday.ca. And so before you go, please make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.